Hello, welcome to Narcissistic Abuse Vocab 101. Today we're going to talk about gaslighting. So if you don't know what that is or interested in learning more about it, that's what we're going to talk about today. So gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse in which narcissists systematically undermine people's mental state by leading them to question their perceptions of reality. Narcissists use lies and false information to erode their victims' belief in their own judgment and ultimately their sanity. Common gaslighting techniques come in the form of denying and projecting. After an abusive incident, narcissists refuse responsibility, blame the abused, or outright deny the abuse took place. They may use the same kind of tactics to control and manipulate others. Okay, I feel like I lost But yeah, so it's basically just denying the person that they're abusing, denying their reality. And this is usually done unknowingly, a lot of narcissists work covertly and they secretly abuse people. They make them believe that they're a great person. So it comes as a surprise. But this gaslighting is slowly leaving them in a state of mind that doesn't trust themselves. You could have literally caught them doing something bad and they will somehow turn it around that it's your fault or that you didn't see that or you actually saw something else, and they will be so convincing that you will actually start to believe this sometimes. I just found it really interesting because I come from a narcissistic family, and how it operates was there's the men were usually narcissists, and the women were usually kind of the enablers or tolerant or whatever of their behavior. And we're unknowingly supporting that kind of behavior. So what I noticed is mental sickness in the women that were around these narcissistic men. They were having to go to mental hospitals. My mother had bipolar. She had mental episodes, really delusional episodes that they call, I guess, manic depressive, and she would have hallucinations and I don't know, I never connected this to being with a narcissistic husband, and her having a narcissistic father also. So she had a lot of trauma, and how they deny your reality and you start questioning yourself. And it just leads me to believe that can create bipolar disorder. Also, have seen a connection with memory loss, which I am really interested if anyone else has seen this connection. I notice a lot of the women in my family, my mom got early dementia, very young, like 50, late 40s, almost 50. So she was still very young. She started, her brain was just deteriorating and she couldn't remember anything. And my grandma also had this, and, both around a lot of narcissism. So I see there's like some sort of connection with having narcissistic abuse and your memory loss. Like there's some kind of retardation of the brain, or like when you constantly you're constantly invalidated your thoughts, and I just feel like it can, if it can become this like mental disorder to where you're like hallucinating and stuff, I'm sure you can also have memory loss and other things. But so I just thought that was really interesting about gaslighting. And it also, I was reading about cognitive dissonance, and that's also another term on this vocab for the narcissist. And it says the narcissist's externalized, manufactured identity is built on lies and denial, and she or he expects family members to accept her or his version of the truth. What this means for the narcissist's partner and children is that they find themselves in opposite land, where they are told, usually through a range of manipulative tactics, that reality is different from or even the opposite of what they feel and perceive. This feature of narcissism produces a cognitive dissonance in others, who experience a profoundly disorienting gap between what they perceive and what the narcissist says happened. Black is white, good is bad, false is true. Particularly in young children, cognitive dissonance is extremely traumatic, leading to self-doubt. Can't find where this continues. Leading to self-doubt. Sorry about that. It continues on another page, but that's just really interesting, the whole, where it says, they'll experience a profoundly disorienting gap between what they perceive and what the narcissist says. So it's just like, I'm imagining this like gap in the mind, like, you don't know what's real and false, and how that could create, like lapses in your brain connection or whatever, and like the way you think. Because I know personally the narcissist in my family tried to gaslight me and convince me that I was like my mom, pretty much. They called me bipolar and whatever because I would react to their abuse. And so they would say, like, you need to go get help, you're dangerous, and this and that, like stuff completely ridiculous, when they're the ones that are actually harming others. But they wanted me to check into a mental hospital, and I ended up going homeless to get away from my family, and I was just so like messed up. I actually called my family and tried to like have them help me and stuff, even though knowing they were the ones that had me get that way in the first place. And they were like, well, when you go to a mental hospital, because that's the reason you're homeless. And I'm like, no, you guys, this isn't the reason I'm homeless. It's it's because of unfortunate things happening in our family, but of course they didn't want to admit that. They wanted me to think I was crazy and everything was my fault. And they would say evil follows me around, it's just me. But yeah, and that's something else the narcissist does, is project things that they feel about themselves onto you. So they'll call you evil and angry and mean and all this stuff that they are. They'll project it onto you because if you disagree, you become a target, like a scapegoat. And so, anyways, if you have any connections with dealing with narcissism and mental disorders or physical disorders or brain disorder, anything like that. Just like a different type of thought pattern, memory loss, any connections you've made, because I haven't seen very many videos of narcissism and how it can cause memory loss, but I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a big connection with this, and emotional abuse being a factor. And like, narcissism is on the rise and memory loss is becoming a big thing, younger and younger, and they're seeing it more and more. So I just found that really interesting. So if you have any comments or have noticed anything, have any questions or comments about gaslighting in general or cognitive dissonance like we talked about, just feel free to comment or ask questions, and I'd be happy to do what I can. Thanks for listening and learning with me. Have a great day.